Hey friends, welcome to Life Group. We're going to start out again with our joys and concerns. So find a parent, a sibling, a friend, or even a pet, and go ahead and you can share your joys and concerns with them. This week we're going to be talking about things you can be doing when you're having a bad day. So we're going to start out by reading Alexander and the very terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Written by Judith Vorst. I went to sleep with gum in my mouth, and now there's gum in my hair. And when I got out of bed this morning, I tripped on the skateboard, and by mistake, I dropped my sweater in the sink while the water was running. And I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. At breakfast, Anthony found a Corvette Stingray car kit in his breakfast cereal box, and Nick found a junior undercover agent code ring in his breakfast cereal box. But in my breakfast cereal box, all I found was breakfast cereal. I think I'll move to Australia. In the carpool, Mrs. Gibson let Becky have a seat by the window. Audrey and Elliot got seats by the window too. I said I was being scrunched. I said I was being smushed. I said, if I don't get a seat by the window, I am going to be car sick. And no one even answered. I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. At school, Mrs. Dickens liked Paul's picture of the sailboat better than my picture of the invisible castle. At singing time, she said I sang too loud, and at counting time, she said I left out 16. Who needs 16? I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Who needs 16 anyway? Not me. I could tell because Paul said I wasn't his best friend anymore. He said that Philip Parker was his best friend and that Albert Moyo was his next best friend and that I was only his third best friend. I hope you sit on a tack, I said to Paul. And I hope the next time you get a double-decker strawberry ice cream cone, the ice cream part falls off the cone part and it lands in Australia. That would make me really upset. I really like ice cream. There were 2 cupcakes in Philip Parker's lunch bag, and Albert got a Hershey bar with almonds, and Paul's mother gave him a piece of jelly roll that had little coconut sprinkles on the top. But guess whose mother forgot to put in dessert? It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. He didn't get any dessert. That's what it was. Because after school, my mom took us all to the dentist. And Dr. Fields found a cavity just in me. Come back next week, he said, and I'll fix it, said Dr. Fields. Next week, I said, I'm going to be in Australia. On the way downstairs, the elevator door closed on my foot, and while we were waiting for my mom to go get the car, Anthony made me fall where it was muddy. And then when I started crying because of the mud, Nick said I was a crybaby. And while I was punching Nick for saying I was a crybaby, my mom came back with the car and she scolded me for being muddy and fighting. I am having a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. I told everybody, and nobody even answered. That's what he gets for punching somebody, though. So then, we went to the shoe store to buy some new sneakers. Anthony chose white ones with blue stripes, and Nick chose red ones with white stripes, and I chose blue ones with red stripes. But then the shoe man said, were all sold out, and they made me buy plain old white ones, but they can't make me wear them. Oh, he's pouting about his shoes. When we picked up my dad at his office, he said I couldn't play with his copying machine, but I forgot. He also said to watch out for the books on his desk, and I was careful as could be except for my elbow. He also said don't fool around with his phone, but I think I called Australia? My dad said please don't pick him up anymore. It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Then there were lima beans for dinner, and I hate lima beans. And there was kissing on TV, and I hate kissing. My bath was too hot. I got soap in my eyes. My marble went down the drain, and I had to wear my railroad train pajamas. I hate my railroad train pajamas. When I went to bed, Nick took back the pillow he said I could keep, and then my Mickey Mouse nightlight burned out, and I bit my tongue. The cat wants to sleep with Anthony and not me. It has been a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. My mom says some days are just like that. Even in Australia. So, some things you can be doing if you're having a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day are to find your favorite alone activity and to do that. Sometimes the best thing you can do is just hang out by yourself. So you could play with Legos, you could color a picture, you could read a book, you could do some exercises, or you could even watch your favorite movie. Anything that makes you feel better and kind of keeps you away from the people that might be irritating you. All right, life group, we're gonna end the way we end our joys and concerns with the Lord's Prayer. So if you'll say the Lord's Prayer with me. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Bye.